What if the secret to protecting your eyesight wasn't in an eyedropper or a prescription bottle, but waiting for you in your kitchen? What if the beautiful, vibrant world you see could be preserved, not through a medical procedure, but through a simple daily act of nourishment? Most people accept fading vision as a non-negotiable part of getting older, but they completely miss the revolutionary science I am about to explain at the end of this video, a discovery that unlocks the body's own healing system. Skipping this final piece of information could be the difference between a future of clarity and one of progressive, irreversible blurriness. Your vision is too precious to leave to chance. Eye anatomy. Let's begin by understanding the miracle that is your eyesight. Think of your eye not as a simple camera, but as a living, breathing extension of your brain. It is one of the most complex and energy-hungry organs in your entire body. At the very back of the eye lies a delicate, paper-thin layer of tissue called the retina. This is the screen onto which the world is projected. The retina is packed with over 100 million light-sensitive cells, called photoreceptors. These are the rods and cones that convert light into electrical signals, the very language of the brain. When you look at a loved one's face, or a brilliant sunset, it is these microscopic cells that are performing an act of biological alchemy, turning photons of light into the rich tapestry of your perceived reality. At the center of the retina is a tiny, precious spot called the macula. The macula is responsible for your sharpest, most detailed central vision, the vision you use to read, to drive, to recognize the subtle emotions on someone's face. It is an area of immense responsibility and therefore immense vulnerability. To function, these cells require a staggering amount of oxygen and nutrients. In fact, the retina has the highest metabolic rate of any tissue in the human body. It is constantly working, constantly regenerating, constantly defending itself. This high energy demand requires an incredibly dense and intricate network of blood vessels to support it. But this same life-giving network can also be a source of profound problems, a delicate balance that, when disturbed, can lead to catastrophic consequences for our vision. Understanding this fundamental architecture, the delicate cells, the high energy demand, and the crucial blood supply is the first step in truly appreciating what it takes to protect your sight. It isn't just about the lens at the front of the eye, it's about the living, dynamic, and fragile ecosystem at the back. It's a system that, when given the right tools, has a profound capacity for self-repair and defense. But when it's neglected or assaulted, it can begin to fail in ways that are quiet at first, but ultimately devastating. This is the sacred ground we must learn to protect. This intricate system is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. Imagine the sheer processing power required every single second you are awake. Light enters your pupil, is focused by the lens, and travels to this remarkable retinal tissue. Within fractions of a second, millions of photoreceptors fire in a coordinated symphony, capturing color, motion, texture, and depth. These signals are then bundled together and sent down the optic nerve, a superhighway of information, directly to the visual cortex in your brain. It is there that these raw electrical impulses are finally decoded into the seamless, high-definition experience you call sight. This process is so flawless and instantaneous that we take it completely for granted. We forget that it is an active biological process that requires constant maintenance and protection. The cells in your macula, in particular, are working under tremendous pressure. They are not only processing the most detailed information, but are also exposed to a high concentration of light, especially damaging high-energy blue light, which can create significant oxidative stress. This is why the body has developed sophisticated built-in defense mechanisms specifically to shield this precious area. It's a biological truth. Where there is great function, there must also be great protection. The story of vision loss is, in many ways, the story of these protective systems being overwhelmed. To truly grasp the challenge, consider the sheer scale of the operation. Your photoreceptor cells are replaced and renewed throughout your life in a process of regeneration. The outer segments of these cells, which do the hard work of capturing light, are shed and replaced daily. This is a monumental task of cellular housekeeping, requiring immense resources and flawless execution. Any disruption to this process, from inflammation, from lack of key nutrients, or from the buildup of cellular waste, can compromise the health of the entire system. This waste product, known as drusen, is one of the early warning signs of age-related macular degeneration. It's the physical evidence that the eye's janitorial services are falling behind. This isn't just a passive decline, it is an active struggle. The story of vision health is a story of balance, the balance between the constant work of seeing and the constant work of healing. For decades, we thought the best we could do was to manage the decline. But what new science is revealing is that we can actively support the healing side of the equation. We can provide our bodies with the raw materials needed to fortify their defenses, to clear out the waste, and to even help regenerate what has been damaged. This shifts the entire paradigm from one of passive acceptance to one of active empowerment. Invisible threats. So, what are the forces that work against this beautiful, delicate system? They are silent and often invisible, but their cumulative effect can be devastating. The first and most significant attacker is oxidative stress. Think of it as a form of biological rusting. Every time your retinal cells convert light into energy, they create metabolic byproducts, much like exhaust from a car's engine. Some of these byproducts are highly reactive molecules called free radicals. In small amounts, the body can handle them. But when they are produced in excess, due to factors like intense light exposure, smoking, poor diet, or environmental toxins, they begin to attack and damage the very structures of the cells themselves. They can damage the cell membranes, the proteins, and even the DNA of your precious photoreceptors and the cells that support them. This relentless, low-grade assault, carried out over years and decades, is a primary driver of age-related eye diseases. Your body has a built-in antioxidant defense system to neutralize these free radicals, but this system can be depleted if it is not constantly replenished through our diet. The second major threat is inflammation. While acute inflammation is a healthy and necessary part of your body's healing response, chronic, low-grade inflammation is a destructive force. It is like a fire that is constantly smoldering in the background. In the eye, chronic inflammation can be triggered by many of the same factors as oxidative stress, as well as by things like systemic disease or infection. This persistent inflammatory state can damage the delicate blood vessels in the retina, making them weak and leaky. It can disrupt the normal functioning of the retinal cells and interfere with the crucial process of cellular waste removal. Inflammation and oxidative stress often work together in a vicious cycle, each one fueling the other. This creates a hostile environment where the cells of the retina can no longer thrive. They are under constant attack, their defenses are weakened, and their ability to function and repair themselves is severely compromised. It is this hostile internal environment that sets the stage for the slow, insidious decline of our vision. A third critical threat relates to our blood supply, a concept known as angiogenesis. This is your body's process for growing new blood vessels. In most of your body, this is a very good thing, essential for healing wounds or for rerouting blood flow around a blockage. But in the eye, angiogenesis is a double-edged sword. When the retina is stressed and starved of oxygen, often due to damage from inflammation or oxidative stress, it can send out distress signals calling for new blood vessels to be grown. The problem is that these new, emergency-built vessels are not well constructed. They are often fragile, abnormal, and leaky. They can grow in the wrong places, breaking through the delicate layers of the retina. When they leak fluid and blood into the macula, it causes rapid and severe damage to the photoreceptors, leading to the condition known as wet, age-related macular degeneration. This is a clear example of one of the body's own defense systems going haywire, trying to solve a problem, but inadvertently making it much worse. Controlling this rogue blood vessel growth is one of the most important frontiers in protecting our vision, and it is a process that is profoundly influenced by what we eat. These threats, oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, and aberrant angiogenesis, are not isolated events. They are interconnected aspects of a single, overarching problem: the breakdown of the body's natural defense systems. And the modern world, unfortunately, conspires to accelerate this breakdown. The high-sugar processed food diets that are now commonplace are intensely pro-inflammatory. They starve our bodies of the very antioxidant compounds needed to quell the fires of oxidative stress. Our increasingly sedentary lifestyles impair healthy circulation, contributing to the oxygen deprivation that can trigger harmful blood vessel growth. The constant exposure to artificial blue light from screens further increases the oxidative burden on our macula. We are, in essence, living in a way that continuously assaults the very systems designed to protect our precious sense of sight. But the incredible news, the central message of hope, is that we have the power to push back. We can make conscious choices, particularly with our food, that disarm these threats and bolster our body's innate capacity to defend and heal itself. That is where the real power lies. Inner pharmacy. Your body possesses an incredible built-in capacity for healing. It is not a fragile machine destined to break down, but a resilient, intelligent ecosystem with powerful, overlapping defense systems. For decades, medicine has focused on attacking diseases from the outside with drugs and surgery. But a new era of understanding is dawning, one that focuses on activating health from the inside. This is the science of your body's own defense systems, an inner pharmacy that you can learn to mobilize through your daily choices. I've identified 5 such systems: angiogenesis, regeneration, the microbiome, DNA protection, and immunity. When it comes to vision health, the roles of angiogenesis, regeneration, and DNA protection are particularly profound. They are the guardians of your eyesight, the frontline workers that keep the intricate machinery of your retina running smoothly. Understanding how to support them is the key to preserving your vision for a lifetime. Let's start with angiogenesis. As we've discussed, this system's ability to grow and maintain healthy blood vessels is critical. A healthy retina needs a pristine network of capillaries to deliver oxygen and nutrients and to carry away waste. When this network is functioning properly, it's a silent hero. The system needs to know when to grow new vessels and, just as importantly, when to stop. Foods can influence this. There are pro-angiogenic foods that help grow healthy vessels where they are needed, and anti-angiogenic foods that help prune back abnormal or excessive vessel growth. For eye health, especially in preventing the wet form of macular degeneration, we need to favor foods that help keep the system in perfect balance, preventing the rogue growth of those leaky, destructive vessels. It's not about just turning the system on or off, but about maintaining its intelligence and harmony. You can eat to create an environment where the right blood vessels thrive and the wrong ones are starved. Then there is the defense system of regeneration, which is powered by our stem cells. You have stem cells throughout your body, including in your eyes. These remarkable cells are a reservoir of healing potential, capable of repairing and replacing damaged tissues. In the eye, stem cells play a crucial role in maintaining the health of the retina. Research is continuously uncovering the incredible potential of these cells to replenish our photoreceptors and the supportive cells around them. For a long time, we believed that once these cells were gone, they were gone forever. But we are now learning that this may not be the entire story. Our bodies have a latent capacity for repair that is far greater than we ever imagined. The critical question then becomes, what can we do to activate these resident stem cells? What can we do to create an environment that encourages them to do their vital work of renewal? Certain foods contain natural bioactive compounds that have been shown in laboratory studies to stimulate stem cell activity. By consuming these foods, you are essentially sending a signal to your body's own repair crews to get to work. Finally, we have the system of DNA protection. Your DNA is the blueprint of life, the master code that instructs every cell in your body how to function. This code is under constant threat from the oxidative stress we talked about earlier, as well as from environmental toxins and even background radiation. Your body has sophisticated DNA repair mechanisms, molecular mechanics, that are constantly proofreading your genetic code and fixing any errors. But just like any defense system, this one can be overwhelmed. When the DNA in your retinal cells becomes damaged, the cells can begin to malfunction or even die. This contributes directly to the degenerative processes that steal our sight. Here again, food plays a stunningly powerful role. Certain micronutrients, particularly antioxidants, are able to directly protect our DNA from damage. They can neutralize the free radicals before they have a chance to strike. Other compounds found in foods can actually enhance the body's own DNA repair mechanisms, making them more efficient and effective. When you eat these foods, you are not just providing calories for energy. You are providing the specific molecular tools your body needs to protect its most precious instruction manual from corruption. By supporting these 3 defense systems, angiogenesis, regeneration, and DNA protection, you are not just fighting a disease, you are building a fortress of health around your eyes. Harmful foods. Before we reveal the superfood that can help protect your vision, it's critically important to understand what you need to remove. You cannot build a strong fortress if you are simultaneously inviting the enemy inside. Many of the foods that have become staples in the modern Western diet are actively working against your eye health. They are the saboteurs that undermine your body's natural defenses, creating the very conditions of inflammation and oxidative stress that we know are so damaging. At the top of this list is sugar in all its forms, especially high fructose corn syrup. When you consume excess sugar, it leads to a process called glycation, where sugar molecules attach themselves to proteins in your body, creating harmful new molecules called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs are incredibly destructive. They promote inflammation, they generate massive amounts of oxidative stress, and they stiffen and damage the tiny, delicate blood vessels throughout your body, including those in your retina. A diet high in sugar is literally a diet that accelerates the aging of your eyes. Next are the highly processed and ultra-processed foods. This includes fast food, packaged snacks, sugary cereals, and refined carbohydrates like white bread and pasta. These foods are problematic for several reasons. First, they have been stripped of the very nutrients and fiber that are protective. They offer empty calories without the cofactors and micronutrients your eyes desperately need. Second, they are often loaded with unhealthy fats, particularly trans fats, and an excess of omega-6 fatty acids, which are pro-inflammatory. A diet rich in these fats tilts your body's internal chemistry towards a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation, the smoldering fire that damages retinal tissues. Furthermore, many of these processed foods contain artificial additives, preservatives, and colorings that your body does not recognize and can further burden its detoxification and defense systems. By choosing whole, unprocessed foods, you are not only getting more of the good stuff, but you are actively avoiding the bad. It is also important to consider the quality of the fats you consume. While healthy fats like the omega-3s found in wild-caught fish and flax seeds are potently anti-inflammatory and crucial for the structure of your cell membranes, certain other fats can be problematic. Specifically, fats that have been damaged by high-heat cooking, like those used for deep frying, create a tremendous amount of oxidative stress when you consume them. Fried foods and oils like corn, soy, and safflower oil, when used excessively, can contribute to the inflammatory burden in your body, shifting your fat intake towards healthy, stable sources like extra virgin olive oil, avocados, and nuts, while minimizing your consumption of fried and processed foods can have a profound impact on quenching the inflammation that threatens your vision. Making these dietary changes, reducing sugar, eliminating ultra-processed foods, and upgrading the quality of your fats, is the foundational step. It's like clearing the debris from a construction site before you can begin to build a strong and resilient structure. You cannot add a superfood to a bad diet and expect a miracle. You must first stop pouring gasoline on the fire. The beverages we choose also play a significant role. Sugary soft drinks and fruit juices are essentially liquid candy, delivering a massive dose of sugar straight into your bloodstream with none of the buffering effects of fiber. This causes a rapid spike in blood sugar and insulin, which is a highly inflammatory event. Regularly consuming these drinks is one of the fastest ways to promote glycation and systemic inflammation. Even diet sodas with their artificial sweeteners can be problematic, as emerging research suggests they can disrupt the gut microbiome, which is intricately linked to our immune system and overall inflammatory status. The simple act of replacing these harmful beverages with water, herbal teas, or green tea can make a world of difference. It's about changing the information you give to your body. Every meal, every drink is a set of instructions. A can of soda sends instructions to promote inflammation and stress. A glass of green tea sends instructions to activate antioxidant defenses and calm the system. The choice is yours at every single meal, and it's these small, consistent choices that collectively determine the long-term health of your precious eyesight. The revelation? Now, with this understanding of how the eye functions, what threatens it, and how the body can defend it, we can finally reveal the single superfood that science has shown can make a profound difference. This food is not exotic or expensive. It has been used for centuries in traditional medicine, but only now is modern science beginning to validate its extraordinary properties, particularly for eye health. This food is the goji berry, also known as the wolfberry. This small red fruit native to Asia is one of the most nutritionally dense foods on the planet. But its power for vision doesn't come from a general assortment of vitamins. It comes from very specific, potent bioactive compounds that work in a targeted way to protect the delicate structures of the retina. The goji berry is not a cure-all, but it is a powerful tool, a piece of food-based medicine that you can use to fortify your body's defenses against vision loss. What makes the goji berry so special is its unique concentration of specific carotenoids, particularly zeaxanthin. Carotenoids are the pigments that give fruits and vegetables their vibrant yellow, orange, and red colors. When you consume them, certain ones have a remarkable ability to travel through your body and accumulate in very specific tissues. Two carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin, have a unique affinity for the macula of the eye. In fact, they are so concentrated there that they form what is known as the macular pigment. This pigment is your eye's own internal sunglasses. It sits directly in front of your photoreceptor cells and literally filters out harmful, high-energy blue light before it can reach and damage them. The denser this macular pigment is, the more protection you have. It's like having a stronger and stronger pair of protective glasses built directly into your eye. The goji berry is arguably the richest known food source of one of these critical pigments, zeaxanthin. While many green leafy vegetables are rich in lutein, the goji berry stands out for its incredible zeaxanthin content. This is critically important, as zeaxanthin is the dominant carotenoid found in the very center of the macula, the fovea, which is responsible for our absolute sharpest vision. Consuming goji berries is like delivering a targeted payload of protective pigment directly to the part of your eye that needs it most. But its benefits don't stop there. Zeaxanthin is also a powerful antioxidant. So not only does it act as a physical shield, it also works on a chemical level to neutralize the destructive free radicals that are generated by light and metabolism. It performs double duty, protecting the retina from both physical and chemical assault. This one-two punch is what makes it such a remarkable molecule for preserving long-term eye health. The scientific validation for this is robust and growing. We are no longer talking about folklore, we are talking about peer-reviewed human clinical trials. These studies have demonstrated that regular consumption of goji berries can significantly increase the density of the macular pigment. Researchers can actually measure this using a technique called macular pigment optical density, or MPOD. Higher MPOD scores are consistently linked to a lower risk and slower progression of age-related macular degeneration. So, when you eat a handful of dried goji berries, you are not just enjoying a sweet and tangy snack. You are quite literally eating to rebuild and reinforce the protective shield within your own eyes. This is the power of food as medicine. It's not about treating a symptom, it's about addressing the root cause by reinforcing the body's own protective architecture. This simple, delicious fruit provides the specific building blocks that your body needs to defend the very core of your vision. The mechanism. Let's dive deeper into the precise science of how this remarkable fruit works its magic inside your body. The action isn't just about dumping antioxidants into your system, it's a far more elegant and multifaceted process that interacts with your body's own defense systems. When you eat goji berries, the zeaxanthin and other bioactive compounds are absorbed into your bloodstream. They are then transported by special carrier proteins that recognize them and know exactly where to take them. They bypass other tissues and are selectively taken up by the cells of the retina, a process that highlights the incredible intelligence of our biology. The body knows this compound is a precious resource for the eyes and ensures it gets there. Once it arrives in the macula, the zeaxanthin integrates into the cell membranes of the photoreceptors, stabilizing them and providing that crucial frontline defense against blue light and oxidative stress. Beyond the direct antioxidant and light filtering effects, the compounds in goji berries also interact with our genetic expression. This field is called nutrigenomics, the study of how nutrients affect our genes. The bioactive molecules in these berries can talk to your DNA, influencing which genes are turned on and which are turned off. Research suggests that these compounds can help to downregulate the expression of pro-inflammatory genes. In essence, they are sending a signal to your retinal cells to calm down, to switch off the smoldering fire of chronic inflammation that we know is so destructive. At the same time, they can upregulate the expression of genes responsible for producing your body's own endogenous antioxidant enzymes, like superoxide dismutase and glutathione. So not only are you delivering an external antioxidant, zeaxanthin, you are also stimulating your eye to produce more of its own internal antioxidant protection. This is a far more powerful and sustainable strategy for long-term health. Furthermore, let's revisit the critical concept of angiogenesis, the growth of blood vessels. As we discussed, abnormal leaky blood vessel growth is the hallmark of the most severe form of macular degeneration. Remarkably, certain compounds within goji berries have demonstrated anti-angiogenic properties in laboratory studies. This means they may help to inhibit the distress signals that call for these harmful vessels to grow. By reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, you are already lessening the primary triggers for these signals. But the goji berry may offer an additional layer of protection by directly interfering with the process itself, helping to maintain a healthy and balanced vascular network in the retina. This makes it a multi-targeted weapon, fighting the war for your vision on several fronts at once. It's cooling inflammation, neutralizing oxidative stress, building up the protective macular pigment, and potentially helping to regulate blood vessel growth. This is the beautiful complexity of food-based medicine. A single food is not a single molecule acting on a single target, like a pharmaceutical drug. A whole food, like a goji berry, is a symphony of hundreds of different compounds: polysaccharides, carotenoids, flavonoids, vitamins, and minerals that all work together in synergy. The unique polysaccharides in goji berries, for example, have been shown to have powerful immune-modulating effects and neuroprotective qualities. This complex matrix of nutrients provides a holistic benefit that you cannot replicate by simply taking an isolated zeaxanthin pill. The whole is truly greater than the sum of its parts. Nature has packaged these compounds together for a reason, and by consuming the food in its whole form, you are leveraging that natural intelligence. You are providing your body with a sophisticated toolkit, allowing it to select what it needs to rebalance its systems and defend itself against the relentless threats to your sight. It's a profound partnership between the wisdom of nature and the intelligence of your own body. Human proof. The most compelling part of this story is not found in a laboratory test tube, but in a human being. The scientific evidence has now moved beyond theoretical mechanisms and into real-world clinical studies that show a measurable positive impact on human vision. One of the landmark studies in this area was conducted by researchers at the University of California, Davis, and published in the journal Nutrients. This was a randomized, controlled trial, the gold standard of clinical research, where a group of healthy middle-aged adults consumed a small handful, about 28 grams or 1 ounce, of dried goji berries 5 times a week for 90 days. Another group consumed a commercial supplement containing lutein and zeaxanthin, while a third group had a placebo. The results were astounding. The group that ate the whole goji berries showed a significant increase in their macular pigment optical density, the measure of their protective shield. What's more, the supplement group, which consumed a higher dose of isolated lutein and zeaxanthin, did not see a significant increase. This finding is incredibly important. It strongly suggests that the compounds in the whole food are more bioavailable, or that the other synergistic compounds in the goji berry are necessary to get the full protective effect. This reinforces the idea that we cannot simply out-supplement a poor diet. The food itself, in its natural matrix, holds a unique power. This study demonstrated in living human subjects that a simple dietary change could tangibly build up the very structure in the eye that is known to protect against age-related degeneration. It's a powerful piece of evidence that you can take direct proactive steps to fortify your vision. You don't have to wait for symptoms to appear. You can start building a more resilient eye today. Another body of research has focused on the antioxidant properties in action. Studies have measured markers of oxidative stress in the blood of people who consume goji berries regularly. They have found that the consumption of goji berry juice or extracts can significantly increase the levels of the body's master antioxidant enzymes like superoxide dismutase, SOD, and glutathione peroxidase, while simultaneously decreasing markers of lipid peroxidation, a measure of cellular damage caused by free radicals. In plain English, these studies show that goji berries are not just providing a shield, they are actively helping your body's own cleanup crews to work more effectively, reducing the amount of dangerous rust accumulating in your system. This systemic antioxidant boost benefits the entire body, but it is particularly crucial for an organ as metabolically active and vulnerable as the eye. Furthermore, traditional use, while not a substitute for rigorous scientific study, provides a valuable historical context. For centuries in traditional Chinese medicine, the goji berry has been revered as a tonic for brightening the eyes. It was used to treat conditions associated with blurred vision, dizziness, and diminished eyesight. While ancient practitioners did not have the language of zeaxanthin or macular pigment, they observed the outcomes. They saw that this fruit had a specific affinity for promoting visual health. Modern science is now catching up, providing the molecular explanation for what traditional healers have known for generations. This convergence of ancient wisdom and modern research creates a powerful and compelling case. It shows us that simple, natural solutions validated by science are available to us right now. It is evidence that empowers us, shifting the focus from fear of inevitable loss to hope through proactive care. This is not about a magical cure, but about a scientifically supported strategy for health promotion and risk reduction. Practical steps. So, how can you incorporate this powerful food into your life in a way that is practical and sustainable? The good news is that it is remarkably easy. The key is consistency. This is not a one-time fix. It's about making a small, regular habit that, over time, builds up a powerful protective effect. Based on the scientific studies, a great starting point is to aim for about 1 ounce or 28 grams of dried goji berries 3 to 5 times per week. This is equivalent to a small handful. You don't need to consume massive quantities. A small, consistent amount is what has been shown to be effective. This small serving provides a potent dose of zeaxanthin and other beneficial compounds without adding excessive sugar to your diet. There are many enjoyable ways to eat them. You can simply eat them by the handful as a snack. They have a unique taste that is slightly sweet, a little bit tart, and very satisfying. They can also be a wonderful addition to other foods. You can sprinkle them on your morning oatmeal or yogurt. They can be blended into a smoothie, adding a boost of nutrition and a beautiful red color. You can soak them in warm water for a few minutes to rehydrate them, making them plump and juicy, and then add them to salads for a surprising pop of flavor and texture. They can also be brewed into a tea. Simply add a handful to a mug of hot water and let them steep for 5 to 10 minutes. You can drink the tea and then eat the softened berries. The key is to find a way that you enjoy and that fits easily into your daily routine. When you are buying goji berries, there are a few things to look for to ensure you are getting a high-quality product. Whenever possible, choose organic goji berries. This helps you avoid any potential pesticide residues, which is important when you are eating something for your health. Look for berries that are vibrant red or orange in color and have a slightly soft, pliable texture. Avoid berries that are overly dry and brittle or those that look dark brown or black, as this can be a sign of age or poor storage. They should be sold in a well-sealed package to protect them from moisture and sunlight, which can degrade the delicate nutrients inside. Quality matters. You are consuming this food as a form of medicine, so it's worth seeking out the best you can find to ensure you are getting the full spectrum of beneficial compounds. Remember, this single superfood is a powerful ally, but it works best as part of an overall healthy lifestyle. It's a key player on a much larger team. Continue to build your diet around a wide variety of colorful fruits and vegetables. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale are rich in lutein, the other crucial carotenoid for eye health. Brightly colored bell peppers, carrots, and squash also provide important antioxidant compounds. Include sources of healthy omega-3 fats like fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds to help combat inflammation. And of course, minimize your intake of the harmful foods we discussed earlier, the sugar, the processed junk, and the unhealthy fats. Think of it this way: by removing the harmful foods, you are stopping the assault on your eyes. By adding a rich variety of whole, nutrient-dense foods, and by making the goji berry a regular part of that diet, you are actively giving your body the tools it needs to defend, repair, and thrive. This holistic approach is what creates true lasting health and protects your vision for the long run. True sight. What we are really talking about is a fundamental shift in perspective. For too long, we have viewed the body as a machine that is prone to breaking down and our vision as something that is destined to fail with age. We've looked to outside forces, pills and procedures, as our only hope. But the science we've explored today points to a more profound and empowering truth. The human body is not a machine, it is a garden. It has an innate, self-healing intelligence. It is constantly striving to maintain a state of health and balance. The diseases of aging are not necessarily an inevitability, but often a consequence of a garden that has been neglected, a soil that has been depleted of nutrients, and a system that has been choked with weeds. The true power lies not in finding a magic bullet, but in becoming a better gardener. It lies in understanding what your body needs to activate its own powerful built-in defense systems. The goji berry is not a cure, but it is a powerful form of nourishment for the soil. It provides specific, targeted nutrients that your body's own healing systems can use to do their miraculous work. It helps to reinforce the shields, calm the fires, and support the intricate living ecosystem within your eyes. This approach requires participation. It asks you to be an active agent in your own health journey, not a passive recipient of treatment. It asks you to see every meal as an opportunity to either support or sabotage your body's incredible resilience. This is a message of profound hope. It means you are not powerless. It means that the future of your vision is not written in stone. With every mindful choice you make, with every handful of nourishing food you consume, you are casting a vote for a future of clarity and health. You are sending a signal of support to the trillions of cells that are working tirelessly on your behalf. You are choosing to partner with the deep wisdom that is encoded into your very biology. This is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about understanding the science and then applying it with consistency and care. True sight, in the end, is about more than just the clarity of your macula. It's about seeing the deep connection between how we live and how we feel. It's about recognizing the power that resides on our plate and the potential for healing that resides within our own bodies. Your vision is a gift, a window through which you experience the beauty and wonder of the world. And knowing that you have the power to protect that gift is perhaps the most clarifying vision of all. Be honest, which part of this science gave you the most hope for the future of your health?